Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.
Welcome to Real Family Talk with your host, Jay Real, where we talk about real issues facing us today. Enjoy the show. Real Family Talk. Hello. Welcome to another week of Real Family Talk. This is your host, Jay Real. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday evening. I know quite a few individuals are. Tonight, of course, was the Florida primary votes tonight for the Democrats and the Republicans. And the results are in. The winners have been announced. And so just to start off the show, I'm going to go ahead congratulate those that I know a lot of the audience here was looking out for. Congratulations to Bruce Antone. He will be the new representative for the Florida House District 46. So congratulations to Bruce Antone. As I guess he says, he told us when he called, experience does matter. Experience does matter, I guess. Also, congratulations. I don't know if they've called this. I know the last I checked, and you can tell me whether or not this is still true, Jeremy, but congratulations to, I believe, Randolph Bracey. I believe he's going to win Florida House District 45. At least last I checked, he was up in that race. And then also congratulations to Geraldine Thompson. She won the Democratic race for Florida Senate District 12. So congratulations to those individuals. A little bit later in the show, I want to give the people an opportunity to call in, talk about whom they voted for, and give us some reasons as to why. And you can even tell us, maybe if you don't want to tell us your name, that's fine. Just give us a call. Let us know what you were thinking. Remember, the number here is 407-894-1680, 407-894-1680. But let me, before I get too ahead of myself, let me welcome my fellow panels members tonight. Jeremy, you over there behind the boards. How you doing tonight, Jeremy?
Good as always. How y'all doing?
Excellent. And as always, Miss McCrae is across from me. How you doing, Miss McCrae?
Hey, good evening, everyone.
So we'll jump on right in here. I want to kind of bring up, something that really hit. We kind of touched on it last week because we knew that it was at least pending. Now, of course, it is official. Dwight Howard has left the building. Officially now, he is a Los Angeles Laker. Just curious, guys. I mean, what are you feeling right now?
Boo!
Who cares?
Who cares?
Boo!
Who cares? He was gone anyway.
I want tickets to the game when we play the Lakers here.
Why?
Just so I can be a part of the team.
You want to go see that scrimmage that the Lakers will
No,
hold
I want to be a part
arena?
of the audience. It's going to be boo.
It's going to be a very nice scrimmage. I hope they don't even put the official NBA jerseys on. Just wear the practice jersey.
I made a comment on Facebook about this. We talk all the time, in politics, they talk on the time, the rich are just getting richer, blah, 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 blah. Every time you think the Lakers are headed for some type of mediocrity, they pull off some kind of random whatever, you know what I mean? And then now they're right back on top. Right back on top. You still got Kobe, who is still the Black Mamba. He's still a killer in the NBA. He's still one of the most feared players in the game. And now they got Pau Gasol, another 7-footer playing power forward. And then now they add, arguably the best center in the game to the team. So now they got 2 7-footers down on the bottom. The one of the greatest shooting guards of all time.
Plus Steve Nash. Steve
Nash at the point.
Who
can throw assists to your mama and she'll score.
But I would say this. I hope the Lakers get an endorsement from Doan's Pills because they got 2 big stars with back problems. Steve Nash, he's 38 now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's old now.
Yeah, he's
Don't get me
38.
wrong, he's old. But
I don't know if y'all paying attention, but his back isn't the best either. Now, granted, he hasn't required surgery, but he has his back issues as well. And
let's be honest, he is there to throw assists to Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard and Pau Gasol.
This is true, but
so
he still got to move though. He still has to move.
He's not expected to do a whole lot from beyond that. That's really what he's there for. So
he still got to move. He still has to facilitate the offense. I'm just saying. And Dwight. Everybody shouldn't be that upset. I don't expect him to come out just being this explosive player right off the bat. Once people get back injuries, usually they're never the same. Ask Tracy McGrady.
Well, I guess we will find out soon enough.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't wish anything bad on
no,
Mr.
not
Dwight,
at all. Not at all.
But I don't want him to win. But I'm going to go ahead and claim it. It's going to be the Heat against Lakers or Oklahoma.
Oh, that was easy.
Finals. Here we go.
Heat against the Lakers of Oklahoma.
Or Oklahoma,
that was easy.
One of them. Because, see, it's still, the test will be if they can get past Oklahoma. And I think even with all that power that the Lakers going to have, Oklahoma's going to come with it. So it's going to be an interesting season just to watch that.
Yeah, it is.
I'm excited about
You
that.
better watch out for them 76ers, though. Buying them in the post. Wow.
Really?
Wow. Iguodala gone too, so now he can dominate the ball like he wanted to in L.A. It's going to be a problem. But on the real, though, y'all better watch out for Denver, though. Denver gave him a lot of problems without Andre Iguodala.
You think so?
They gave the Lakers a lot of problems without him.
That's true. But again, they we'll see. It's going to be an interesting season. Talking about the Magic though, just for a little bit, real quick. You can give us your thoughts too. 407-894-1680. 407-894-1680. The Orlando Sentinel did a piece about. Of course, we know the players that we're getting, and most of them, at least two of them are basically, we'll call them fresh meat. And then the other two, and then one is a seasoned veteran, and then you got the young guy, the young shooting guard who we'll see what he does. But then we got a bunch of picks. But I was looking at they did a breakdown on all the different picks that we got. And what blew my mind about these picks is essentially they were almost not picks. Because we got first round picks from these teams, but we didn't get any of these teams' first round picks. What we actually got were picks that these teams got from other people that they were like, we got this last year from so-and-so, so yeah, we'll just throw that to y'all. Sure, no problem. And then on top of that, there's so many conditions to us getting these picks that some of these picks, if the right conditions happen, we won't even get the pick for another 2 years.
Wow.
That's the business.
See?
I was looking at it, I'm like, what in the world? The picks aren't even these teams' picks. They throwaways, because the Lakers pick didn't come from the Lakers. It actually came from the Phoenix Suns when they traded for Steve Nash.
Yeah, that's the nature of the business now. That's how a lot of them get them picks.
I get it, but I'm just tripping that it is so, like I said, one, they're conditional, and two, none of them should net, anything in the top 10. At best, we'll probably do maybe a 15 or a 16, but more than likely will be so in 20s to the 30s. So it would seem almost that these aren't even really picks that we're keeping. These are just more trade bait for the future, if anything.
They could be either trade bait or they can be pick stuff, just kind of like a complete the team, maybe get that missing piece that you may need 5 years from now. Maybe you don't load another superstar here or a superstar and a half, as you will.
I guess.
And you need a good seasoned guy to college who done played 4 years and he knows how to come in and play defense and grab rebounds, that kind of thing. It could still work out. That's all I'm saying. It could still work out.
Yeah.
Well, we got a long way to go.
It's a rebuilding process. It happens. Process. It is.
We always rebuilding. It seems like
everybody's always rebuilding.
Oh my gosh.
We're not the only ones. We just happen to live in Orlando.
Just always.
If you don't live in L.A., you're the only ones not rebuilding. Other than that, everybody's always rebuilding.
The one good thing I'll say is it would seem that we are going to be under the cap within a couple of years. We're going to be only about $30 million committed to payroll, and I believe this year's cap was, in the low 50s. So, if the trend continues, we're going to have a little bit of money available to us in a couple of years. So, there's a bright side, I suppose, to all of this.
And that's why the moves are made. They just freeing up money, so in a couple of years they can make that run for that big free agent and spend that money. That's what rebuilding is.
Right, and that'll be, I think that'll be Chris Paul's year. I think that also is Carmelo Anthony's year as well. And I think one other guy escapes me right now, but there's some big names that are going to be out there and available when we do have a little bit of wiggle room, if you will.
Yeah.
But
and you don't worry, Linda. You don't have to worry about any of those guys coming here.
Right.
Hey man, we can dream.
I just don't see Melo leaving New York to come
We
to
can dream.
Orlando.
We can dream.
Or Chris Paul leaving LA to come to Orlando.
We can dream. Dreams are possible.
Maybe we'll get Duncan on the last year of his contract.
Oh. No.
Get Tim Duncan and get Manu Ginobili or something. They come in and play for $500,000.
On their way out.
On their way out.
They're going to give us some charity.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see. Looking forward to a great season. I did see one comment by Darryl Armstrong today in the Orlando Sentinel. He said that teams should watch out for the Orlando Magic. He said, you remember what they call him, Heart and Hustle? I believe is what they called him when he was playing.
Yeah.
When he was playing. We could see he suggested maybe a rebirth.
I don't know about y'all, but I've never seen Jameer Nelson hustle. Just observation. And we re-signed him, by the way.
We did re-sign him. Yes, we did. He is one of the centerpieces to bring this thing together.
He's going to be happy now. He can go out there and hit 30 a game now.
We'll see. Looking forward to seeing how the season goes. I certainly am. We'll see. Go Magic. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Go Magic. 407-894.
Or Heat if you like, though.
407-894-1680. 407-894-1680. Oh, so again, I am encouraging anyone that wants to call and congratulate any of the candidates. So if you want to call and tell us why you're excited that one of the particular candidates won again, Geraldine Thompson won the Senate race in District 12. Bruce Antone won the Florida House race in District 46. And have they called the Randolph Bracey's race, Jeremy? Is it still? It's still. He's just got the big numbers, and I know he had what was it? A margin of at least almost 1,000 votes, I believe. But I'm assuming they're going to call that for Randolph Bracey. So congratulations again.
Yeah, I mean they say everybody's reported, and so.
Yeah, okay. So congratulations to all those candidates. We are certainly hoping that you go to the Senate for Ms. Thompson. Well, Ms. Thompson still got to run again in November, actually. Randolph Bracey, though, and Bruce Antone are officially going to the Florida House. So hopefully those gentlemen will represent District 45 and 46 well. But feel free to give us a call. Tell us what you think about tonight's election results. 407-894-1680. 407-894-1680. Yes, sir.
Oh, I also want to congratulate Sheriff Demings. He won again. And also Kathleen Gordon, District 5 for the school board seat.
Yes. Kat Gordon re-won her District 5 seat. And also Sheriff Demings also beat out Mike Green as well for Orange County Sheriff again. So, congratulations to those individuals as well. So feel free, 407-894-1680, 407-894-1680. Before we kind of get more discussion about that, though, this weekend, I was excited this weekend. I know Miss McCrae was at home, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so excited for J Real today."
Whatever. Whatever.
But this weekend, presidential candidate Mitt Romney announced who his vice presidential candidate will be, and of course he announced that it would be Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan. You have any claps over there?
No.
Jeremy,
Don't do it.
No, we definitely don't have
We don't
claps for
have
that.
claps
Can
for
we play
that.
Celebration?
No, we can't do any of that. No.
I know I'm on the only one in this particular building that is kind of excited here. I like Paul Ryan. I think he's going to bring a dynamic to the race here that is missing. He is going to actually force people to actually discuss issues with facts and figures, as opposed to throwing out random statements about individuals. And I'm not talking per se about President Obama or presidential candidate Mitt Romney. I'm talking to both of these men. Both of these men are going to be forced to actually deal with issues, and hopefully, I know the super PACs that represent them are going to do a bang up job of doing their best to run as many negative ads against these individuals as possible. But I hope the candidates now will focus on the issues at hand and discuss actual issues with facts and figures, and not just random statements of opinion, as we've seen thus far in the month of August. Wrote a blog about it. Check it out, realfamilytalk.weebly.com, realfamilytalk.weebly.com, about the discussed or the, I guess, negative nature of the campaign has been in the last couple of weeks. For those that don't know, though, Paul Ryan is a House representative member. He's actually the head of the budget committee in the House. And the reason why the presidential candidate Mitt Romney is going to catch a lot of flack.
Please don't.
Is well, not yet anyway. The reason why he's catching a lot of flack for picking this guy is because he represented or created a budget that is going to slash a few $1 trillion over the next decade off of our current budget, which has a lot of people scared, and a lot of people are scared due to some of the cuts that he'd make. He's serious about trying to get entitlement spending under control and finding ways to make sure it will last, not just for the current seniors, but for seniors throughout the rest of this country's history. I know Miss McCrae is excited about that. And so other spending cuts and tax cuts, and so forth that, of course, have a lot of people up in arms. What were you going to say there, Jeremy?
If I may interrupt you so eloquently, what exactly does entitlement mean? These entitlement cuts. I was, doing my little reading and research, as I tend to do on certain things. And this whole entitlement thing, it's kind of rubs me the wrong way, because it's just funny how people who don't need certain things, who throughout their life, circumstances hadn't put them in a situation where they need to take advantage of certain things, how they word things. And entitlement spending, that's, to me, is like they come off like it's a negative thing, like somebody stealing from somebody or something, like, oh, you don't deserve this or something like that.
Well, I'm looking up the definition since you asked.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what the definition says. There's a couple. I'll read a couple. This is from Webster. This is from Webster.
Okay.
Is Webster all right?
Webster's fine.
Webster's fine? Okay. So Webster says, the state or condition of being entitled, a right to benefits specified, especially by law or contract. And the second definition says, a government program providing benefits to members of a specified group, or funds supporting or distributed by such a program. Those are just the top two. I'll leave it at that. So
okay.
That's the entitlement spending.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you wonder what programs we're talking about: Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare.
You know, people these entitlement programs.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Right. So he's got some plans to cut them. The thing I like, again, I'm not an advocate to say this guy has got it all on the money.
No,
as
he
far
doesn't.
As how the cuts are concerned.
At all, actually. That's
but
a very fundamental problem with this guy.
But what I will say is this guy has a plan. And as of yet, we have not heard the Democrats' plan. And as far as I can tell, because I haven't seen any particular programs that they've done, that they have no plan to cut the spending, because everyone knows discussing entitlement cuts is typically political suicide. And so Democrats, they know that they're a huge part of their base, did I say huge? Part of their base.
Huge would be the correct
depends on these entitlement funds.
Exactly.
And so they will admit that there's a problem, but they refuse to actually present a solution. And that's why I like this guy, simply because he's willing to at least submit a solution, even at the peril of himself. Whereas the other side won't even have a discussion about it. And so I give him props for that.
At the peril of himself, what is he worried about? So what he does?
Obviously, he's worried about.
So what he doesn't win the vice presidential seat, they don't win the race. He's still going to go back to being a congressman. His base.
Actually, he has to file to run again,
and he's going to win. Everybody knows that.
More than likely,
look what he represents
he does well.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah, he has nothing to lose.
Actually, you know what? Oddly enough, the district that he runs in is actually highly Democratic. That same district that he ran in 2008 actually overwhelmingly voted for Obama, but at the same time, they overwhelmingly voted for him.
Exactly.
So he appeals within his district anyway, because he's only, like I said, he's a House member, which means he has a certain section of Wisconsin that is voting for him. But again, that section is heavily Democratic. There's more Democrats in that section than there are
It's still Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Is the map leaving you right now? It's Wisconsin.
You know, I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
I understand what you're saying.
You know exactly what I'm saying.
You know
what?
They
might have
oddly enough,
I
I didn't know this, but I actually have a buddy that is lives within his district. I don't know if he's listening tonight, but I would love to hear from you at these suggestions that are being made. If you are listening out there,
tell us what you think.
We would love to hear from you tonight, because they are dogging Wisconsin right now.
I'm not dogging Wisconsin.
I know what you're saying, brother.
I'm not dogging Wisconsin. I mean,
you
just say, because the district overwhelmingly voted for Obama. I mean, a lot of people that people didn't think was going to vote Democratic in the next election did. So that's not no anomaly or nothing like that. You know, people were in a situation they were fed up. But when their tensions calmed down and they got back to reality, hold on.
Well, again, though, but that district, again, is always Democratic. It always goes Democratic for the most part. But he does still get elected. So
like I said,
just a comment, brother.
Nothing to worry about.
I was reading about that, brother.
Like I said, nothing to worry about.
And then when you talk about he's willing to lay out a plan, anybody can lay out a plan.
Yes, I have a plan.
I have a plan. It's not going to work, but I could say I have this grand plan, as opposed to thinking about it, really doing your research and coming up with, when you're going to say something, you're going to say something that can actually work.
That's the point. He has done his research.
But that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Let me ask this real quick. And I don't, do you know what the plan is?
Well, his tax plan?
Well, sure. Well, I wasn't talking about the tax plan. I was talking about more so the entitlement plan.
Ooh,
Medicare is the one he's really catching a lot of flack for.
Well, I don't think a lot of people are trying to figure out exactly his specifics on it, because there are parts of his plan where he's not even specific on where exactly all the money is going to come from. As far as the Medicare and Medicaid is coming from, the citizens now, senior citizens now that are 55 plus, they're okay. It's for us young folks that this would affect. When it's our turn to come to of age of 65, and then we would then be on a voucher system, where if the fluctuation of the cost of medical health care, if that continues to go up, you're given a $15,000 voucher. That's it. And if you choose a health plan that's more expensive than that, you have to pay for that out of your pocket. How many senior citizens can pay for more than that?
But you neglect to mention, as a part of his plan, though, you can still join a plan that is very similar to what is currently being offered.
Right,
so you
which
have
is
that
what
option.
everybody's going to end up doing anyway. So why?
I doubt that. You know why? You know why I doubt that?
The rich won't.
You know why I doubt that? Because, well, first of all, one of our biggest things is that, number one, we need to learn and get more prepared, especially people our age. And for those that are wondering what we're talking about, I'm talking about certainly if you're in the 40s, certainly you got to start getting more prepared. But definitely in the 20s, those of us in our 30s, we got to get more prepared for retirement in general, because as it currently stands, the government has already told us the plans as they exist currently are not working. So if we're not being better prepared now, we're going to end up screwing ourselves eventually anyway. That being said, if you get properly prepared, you don't necessarily are going to have to depend so much on the government to help you in your older age. And to me, that's what our focus should be on, not so much that we want to make sure that the government can support us like they support seniors now, but my focus is I want to make sure that I can support myself regardless of what the government does. And I think that's the mindset that we have to have moving forward, because every election, even Democrats and Republicans are telling us these plans aren't working in their current state. So they're being honest with us to tell us that they're not working currently. They continue to tell us every election cycle. We hear at least 2 or 3 of them mention this to us on both sides of the table. So the question is not, well, why is he doing it this way? The question is, what are we going to be doing to prepare ourselves to care for ourselves regardless of what the government does, because the government is telling us they aren't prepared to take care of us.
All right. That's cool. But the question right now is, why is he doing it this way? Because that's what we talk about
he's
right now.
He's doing it this way because he's trying to figure out a way to save the
way
program.
To do it. But to me, it always gets back to this. How come everybody that comes along from the Republican side, the first thing, all they plans, okay, we got to cut Medicaid, cut this from Medicare.
Well, first of all, he didn't say cut it. He said,
I didn't say cut it. I said cut this. You rearrange, cut, same difference. You know what it means. They're cutting funding. That's what they're cutting. They're cutting funding. They want to rearrange this, to do this, to do this, do that, whatever. But then you're cutting taxes for the rich people.
Well, first of all, you cutting taxes for everybody.
No,
not just rich people.
No.
But the major.
Did y'all see the plan?
Their plan.
The major breaks, though, always,
cutting it for the rich people, bringing it up for the middle class in the end, because somehow it's going to have to balance.
It's not going to balance. Everybody's taxes are being cut.
They're saying that it's going to be that way, but in the end, if you really go pull this down, if they're going to pull from the rich, where is that money going to come from? Who else is going to have to?
Somebody got to make it up. You know that.
The middle class.
The middle class. Everybody's taxes are getting cut all the way around.
No.
Yes.
are we reading the same thing, Jeremy?
We are reading the same thing. I'll tell you.
I don't know.
In this guy's particular plan, he's cutting taxes
he and Romney.
to two tax breaks, 10 and 25. So, and the middle class is not getting 25.
The rich are.
The rich are getting the 25. The middle class is going to get 10.
The middle class are going to end up having to raise their taxes.
They're not going to raise it.
It's watch.
First of all, there's not a person on this earth that would even consider creating a plan that would raise taxes on the middle class. It's just not. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, all right.
It's political. That's even a bigger suicide than the other stuff.
Romney and
but
that is not.
Okay,
what did you read?
What always happens? What always happens? What always happens? This all sounds good because they just running now. That's all it is. So I'm going to tell you anything. But when I get in the office, I'm going to do this, And at the end of the day, when you, like you say, when you cut from the rich, somebody has to make the difference up. And who's going to make it up?
That's not true. You know what the difference gets made up at?
What you mean it's not true?
You know what the difference gets made up at? When rich people have to pay less in taxes, they typically spend more money doing things.
You think
As a
so?
Like what?
result, because they spend more money doing things, the amount of taxes that are raised goes up. Not because the middle class is paying more in taxes, but because rich people are spending more money.
I don't buy that.
Evidence shows.
Spending more money
listen,
doing
listen.
I don't
what?
buy
Hold
that
on a
at
second.
all.
What evidence?
Hold on.
Bush,
History,
Reagan.
history shows that when taxes get cut significantly, the amount of tax revenue increases. It's history. You don't have to take my word for it. Look it up. Google it. Tax revenue raises when taxes get cut. So that again, money is getting raised because people are more willing to spend money. Those that have money. For instance, you're talking about businesses. Why do businesses keep over $1 trillion of money out of the United States? They keep it there because the taxes in the United States are higher in some of these other places where they're keeping the money. If you reduce the taxes that they have to pay in the United States, then what do you think they're going to do? They're going to come back, and I'm not saying they're going to bring all $1 trillion back, because that's
Come
ridiculous.
on, man. Let's be real.
That's ridiculous.
Come on,
That's
man.
ridiculous, because you're gonna obviously keep your money out there so that it better serves you. That's smart business. But you'd be more willing to bring some of it back due to the fact that you're going to have to pay lower taxes. It makes you, as a citizen, as a middle class American, if you paid lower taxes, you'd be more willing to do certain stuff because you don't have to pay as much tax. You see what I'm saying? It makes sense. It makes sense. Why do you go to Walmart as opposed to Publix?
I go to
because
Publix. I go to Publix.
All right. Well, the average American goes to Walmart over Publix.
I don't
Why?
buy that
because
argument, but
Walmart is cheaper than Publix.
I don't buy that argument, and I'm gonna tell you why after our Jimmy Shine.
I see Jimmy Shine's
his
back.
thing.
Jimmy Shine, how you doing,
Hello.
man?
I'm back here again, once again,
Hello.
listening to the show, just like I said I would.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. What's going on?
You guys are on Facebook, Real Family Talk.
Yes, we are.
I just like you.
Yes, I noticed that, man. I appreciate that.
And I tell you something about tonight's results. I'm not happy at all about the Geraldine Thompson winning.
Really? Why not, Jimmy Shine?
Not happy at all. Well, you would have to know her history at Valencia Community College, where she was the EEOC. And African Americans and others were going to her office to file discriminatory complaints. And at the same time, she was an executive officer hired by Valencia Community College. So you see, she's the EEOC on one hand, and then at the same time, she works for Valencia Community College as an executive officer protecting the school. You see the conflict of interest?
That is a conflict of interest. I hear
The
you.
clear conflict of interest. And apparently nobody bothered to step forward and say this before her perceived win tonight. So, no, I'm not happy at all about Geraldine Thompson winning over Victoria Sipplin. I clearly think that Victoria Sipplin was the better candidate. From what I have heard, Geraldine Thompson lives in Windermere.
Yeah,
She does.
Can anybody confirm that?
She does.
She does.
Not even in Pine Hills, not even in the district. But yes,
At least
she
I know for a long time they have.
Yeah.
I would assume they didn't
now-
move back to Pine Hill.
Yeah. So now here she is representing the Pine Hills area, and she lives in Windermere. Again, just bad politics all around. Apparently, some people, this may have been fixed, or some people just did not know what she was about. They heard the name, they recognized it, and they ran out and voted for her.
Well, I think. Go ahead.
No. Please, go ahead.
No, I just think it was a lot of things. I think, Geraldine Thompson's been around for a long time, and I know there are a good amount of people in Pine Hills that know her and know she's been around and things she's done. I mean, obviously nobody's perfect, and I'm sure she's touched a lot of people the wrong way. But like you said, she probably won a lot off her name, though.
And two, I'll tell you this, Jimmy Shine. I don't know how much you kind of looked at kind of what Victoria Siplin was doing. But, to me, to look at her campaign, I kind of felt like I was watching The Distinguished Gentleman again. She was like, the name you know. That's I think when you're talking about somebody that was actually doing something.
On her own.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, able to step out on her own.
Exactly.
Establish her own credibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think you have to remember that in that particular race.
Well, look at the other side. Geraldine Thompson's husband is Circuit Court Judge Emerson Thompson.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Big name, big recognition deal factor there.
Yeah, but I don't think people remember him. But you got to remember, she just came out of the House. She's won in the House a couple of times, the Florida House a couple of times, and people know for what she's done at that particular time. Whereas Siplin is basically, like I said, she's running off the name she's got failed businesses apparently, according to what the news is saying. Apparently, she was also getting contributions from outside sources that
Tea Party people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that kind of rubbed me the wrong.
That rubs people the wrong way. And even there was a couple of debates that were held, and to my knowledge, I know of one at least that she missed, and I believe there were a couple others. So when the people are looking for you, she wasn't there. I know she did some knocking on doors. I think I saw that off of Facebook.
Right. What I found disturbing about that particular debate was that Geraldine Thompson would stand up and call Victoria Siplin and Gary Siplins a couple of Uncle Tom sellouts. Now, that was over the top, as they say.
I would agree.
But apparently, it scored big points for her, and there were those who agreed with Thompson. So I think that, yes, Victoria Siplin could have been more forthcoming and stood up and says, yes, I did have this company that, did whatever, and yes, I do take Tea Party contributions, but then so does my competition. In other words, she could have stepped forward. She should have cleared that up before what happened tonight happened. And so here we are.
Here we are.
We're moving forward. We're going forward into the November election. Who knows what's going to happen there? Did you hear about Obama and his Social Security fraud case?
No, I didn't hear about that one.
A private investigator in Ohio is suing the Ohio Secretary of State to get Obama's name off the ballot. And right now, it's all in a big lawsuit. Obama's name may be taken off the Ohio ballot, and he needs Ohio to win.
Yes, he
does. So I tell you what, go to my. If you get a Facebook, you got a Facebook. Go to my Facebook page, facebook.com Jimmy.shine627. Go to that, scan through some of my stuff, read some of my articles. I got a ton of them. And I got a whole write-up on that about the Obama and how the Obama campaign is in trouble, how they are fighting to keep their name on the Ohio ballot, all that good stuff.
All right. We appreciate it, man. We thank you for listening, Jimmy Shine.
We'll be in touch.
Jimmy Shine.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
But, yeah. So that's what Jimmy Shine thinks. 407-894-1680. 407-894-1680 is the number. Please give us a call. Let us know what you think about tonight's election results. Remember, Geraldine Thompson won the Florida Senate in District 12 primary. Jerry Dimmons won his particular primary for Orange County Sheriff again. Kat Gordon won school board member for District 5. And Randolph Bracey won Florida House District 45. Bruce Antone won Florida House District 46. 407-894-1680. 407-894-1680 is the number. Give us a call. So I'll move on about this Paul Ryan thing. Like I said, I am excited. If you're excited too, I'd love to hear from you, because it's getting real lonely for us non-Obama supporters. For us black non-Obama supporters.
Scary. It's scary. It just made me even more afraid. This Romney-Ryan ticket is scary. It's a scary thing.
Good. Like I said, I just hope it brings a discussion of real issues and not, random statements of just trying to be negative. I remember one time called the president talking about Republicans want dirty air and dirty water. It's like, are you kidding me? But so we got another caller here. How you doing tonight, caller? What's your name?
Christine.
How you doing, Christine? What's your comment tonight?
Fine. I got 2 comments.
Okay.
I read an article about what Jerry Thompson said about Victoria Sibling, that she's a Republican. A lot of this came out. She was smashing her, but that's all good. Because, she'll win one day. And the second thing I got is about Romney. This myth came out by him, but he was getting money from a drug dealer. It's all on the news, all on the internet. You need to look into that. It's bad for you. Don't look good for him neither. Check it out. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Getting money from a drug dealer.
Money. He has enough money to, the both of them are just richer than rich. rich kids that are going to make richer and everybody else poorer. It's not, and I understand you saying it's a top-down thing. If they know how to be rich, they're going to make everybody else learn how to be rich.
No, I did not say that.
What did you say last time? You said,
what I said
because
is,
he has evidence of making himself become this rich,
wealthy
man.
No, what I said is that people who have made money understand how to teach other people to make money. Do I believe that somehow Mitt Romney being president is somehow going to trickle down and make everybody else rich? Of course it isn't. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Nobody can make you rich, especially from some political office. But my point in saying and talking about his success as a businessman is to say, I look at America as a company. It's a big company, but it's a company. Okay. And so if I'm going to look for someone to run a company, okay, I put this on Facebook too. I said, congratulations to the CEO and the accountant, right? God. Because Mitt Romney has been a successful CEO. While Ryan is not an accountant per se.
We're not even sure Romney works for the bank.
Whatever. He has come up with he's come up with an outline plan that at least a few people can agree upon is a great starting place into creating change, okay? Which is more than I can say for the other team. And so from that perspective, I believe these gentlemen can lead the country in a better future than our current team can. Why? Because our current team doesn't have the know-how, knowledge, or experience to be successful at it.
Poor J. Real. poor J. Real.
Hey, man.
If this
wasn't the presidential candidate and this was the business you were trying to run, I guarantee you that if those two gentlemen came into your office, you would give Mitt Romney a shot before you gave President Barack Obama.
No, because
he has the experience of creating a successful billion-dollar company.
For himself.
Are you seriously going to sit here and believe that he's the only person that made money off of Bain Capital? Really?
But for the executives, Bain Capital, the people, the employees of Bain Capital who actually ran that company, they not balling like that. He's balling. But they aren't balling. And
all of his executives are balling.
These two men, Romney and Ryan, are falling right back into the Bush era politics. The same things that got us into the trouble that Mr. Barack Obama is trying to get us out of.
We don't have time for that one, but.
Well, yeah, I said it. Well, the same thing that he's trying to work to build us out of, they're going to drive us right back into it. How do you not see this? You're so smart. You're so smart.
Thank you. I appreciate those compliments.
You are. You're brilliant. But your politics, man. I can't believe you're falling for these guys. These jokers, clowns.
There was this brilliant movie that came out a few years back called Head of State. And in it, this actor said, how can you make an effective hunger policy if you've never been hungry?
Mm.
And Barack Obama's been hungry? No.
Yes.
No.
How can you?
He wasn't. He's clearly.
I'm gonna say he was a lot closer than they were.
Thank you. Single parent household.
Single parent grandma.
Let me say this.
But most of the Americans today.
That's what I'm saying. But
his grandma was an executive at a bank in the 70s. A woman executive at a bank.
But hear me what I'm saying. Hear me what I'm saying.
Money.
But he's
more than
he's been around a lot more people who's dealt with real life as we know it, as most people in America.
Because he smoked marijuana?
Because the places where he has held office at, he's had to deal with people who lived the life that most Americans actually live. Being on the south side of Chicago, being in places like that. These are people who are dealing with real problems every day. These are the people who problems are so bad they don't care who's in office. To me, that's when you're dealing with real people. When you're dealing with people whose problems are so bad, they don't even care who's in office because they just trying to get their next meal. When you got to go out and talk to those kind of people every day, then I feel like you will be a little hesitant about like, oh well, we need better numbers so we can just slash his number here. It ain't no big deal. They'll be all right. It happens.
Right. It's
get up and get a job.
Being in touch, and that's exactly their mindset. It's like
it's just numbers.
Get up and you do it.
It's not.
You make it.
It
is
again,
numbers.
It is just numbers to them.
Again,
you said it best yourself. CEO,
again.
you said it best yourself. CEO, accountant. CEO's job is to look at numbers. That's it. He doesn't care who gets laid off. He doesn't care who gets forced retirement. They don't care because that's not their job. Their job is to return a bottom line to shareholders.
That's it.
Correct?
I agree, but
okay.
In doing
and
so,
the accountant's job is to make the CEO look good. Correct.
And
in doing so, it doesn't mean you have to forget about people.
But that's what they do.
That is not
necessarily what they do.
We're not talking about necessarily. We're talking about what they actually do.
They don't care about the people. It's about numbers.
No, that's you disagreeing. I'm talking about them. But then again, you don't have their background. You don't even have their mindset.
I disagree.
You have a business acumen.
The numbers that they come up with, again, it's one thing to sit around and say that their plans are horrible, and that's fine for anyone to think that. But again, I question, and this has nothing to do with you guys, but I question those people who do have the authority to come up with an option or an alternative to this. I question their ability because they haven't done that. Their sincerity in the matter, and that's what I'm really talking about here. At least these people have an option, a plan. Where is the other team's plan? And that's my. Where is the plan?
If you're gonna lay out a plan, you need to lay out a plan that can really work. Don't just put something out there. We have another caller.
How you doing tonight, caller Christine?
Yes,
What's your comment?
I would like you a question. I hear the senator was talking about today when he won, what Roman want to do with the Medicaid and the Social Security. He said he want to do away with it. Can you respond to that?
They're not trying to do away with it. They're trying to. They'll describe it as finding ways to preserve it. So in doing some of that, because it would change from what we are used to in 2012. At some point, it would change from that particular format. People are saying that they're trying to do away with it, but it's not their plan to do away with it. For instance, with the Medicare idea, basically the idea that they proposed says that for people 55 and older, the Medicare plan would stay exactly as it is today. And then for those of us younger than 55, what they would do is they would set up sort of like an exchange, which is what the president's kind of doing in the Affordable Health Care Act. They would set up an exchange, and then what would happen is the government would issue every individual a certain amount of money. They didn't really talk about how much money that would be.
15,000.
There's no exact numbers on that, but
it was reported today.
I thought you said they had the hard facts.
Hold on a second.
And hard numbers.
This is just a general idea. So they would give you a voucher, and then you could pick between the plans. One of the plans would be more of a traditional kind of Medicare plan, and then there would be other different options. Of course, since it's not created, it's hard to say what they would be exactly. But anyway, they'd give you this voucher to pay for it, and then any excess, some of the plans would require you to kick in for excess. Other plans would require, could actually potentially have the government kick in for you. So it just kind of depends on what plan you would end up choosing. And because these plans aren't really in existence yet, it's really hard to say what they would be or what they wouldn't be. But the idea here is that, as the president has told us and has many members of Congress have told us, Medicare in its current format will not survive for the next 50, 60, 100 years. And so they have to make some kind of change. And so this is this man's idea. I have yet to hear what the other side's idea is. And so unfortunately, all we can do is discuss his idea until the other side gives
I have his idea the Romans. God bless you.
God bless you too.
Thank you, Christine.
And that's at the end of the day, that's my point. What is the other side's idea? And it's real easy to criticize one man's idea when you don't have one. And my question is, if you can go on television and repeatedly tell us that it's a problem, Mr. Solution President, why can't you come up with a option to account for the problem? And it shouldn't take you another 4 years to do that, because again, if you were really, really, really at the top of your list trying to make sure that happened, within the first 2 years of your presidency, along with fixing or creating an option for people to for health care, in my opinion, that would have also been on your agenda. Because again, if it kind of goes back to that old saying, if the Medicaid program is in trouble, then to me, before you dump another 20 million people into the program, you would seek to fix the problems that it has before you add more people to it. And to me, I find some problem with the idea that you have yet to do that, but yet you will continue to tell us that there's a problem.
Well, here's the thing.
Give me a solution. You say their solution is wrong. You say their solution is bad. Mr. President, your administration, your Congress people, where is your solution then? Don't tell me his is bad. Tell me what yours is and why yours is that much better.
I think it's a delicate situation. This is a big, huge problem. You can't just throw something together. They have to do research.
Why do you assume that this man, on Thursday had the idea and on Friday presented it?
He's this fiscal guy. I'm sure he's looking at the numbers
He
saying, we can cut this,
6,
we
7,
can do
8
this,
months putting
we
that
can
together.
cut there, boom. It's that easy. No, and when you lay it down to the actual people and apply it to real life, it's not going to work like that. And I think that the other side has to really look at what it's going to take to make this change. And then when you look at which one you're going to go after first, healthcare or the Medicare, healthcare is a much, much bigger problem right now. And if that is together, then the trickle down from that to the Medicaid and the Medicare problem, that could smooth itself out on its own. Healthcare is a major problem.
Do you really believe that? I mean,
major problem.
I'm sitting across from you,
yes,
and I'm looking dead in your eyes, and I'm just wondering, like, really?
Yes.
Trickle down?
Yes.
So money doesn't trickle down, but changes in healthcare would trickle down to Medicare and Medicaid.
If the
What's
changes in the healthcare system, if more people can afford to be covered by insurance, and more people are healthy and taking care of themselves and have the options to take care of themselves, then like you're talking about, if we start now, by the time they get to the age of 65, they won't have to go on to the Medicare and the Medicaid like the people that have to do that now.
Yeah.
It starts within that healthcare bill.
It starts early.
It starts early.
First of all,
sort of like your investment beliefs.
Most people over most people will take Medicare because it's offered to them, not because they quote unquote need it. They need it because they need health insurance, not because they're sick.
Exactly. You just said it.
But no one's taking. But again, nobody's taking away.
If you clear up the healthcare issue, and so that people can afford insurance in the first place, then they don't have to turn to that because they're already going to be covered. They won't have to turn back to the government's plan with the Medicaid.
They will, because you get it because you don't have a job, and so you're covered by Medicare.
But if they fix it so that you can afford health care and without working, because right now, let me tell you about COBRA. Let me tell you about that. This is a real
COBRA is the most ridiculous idea.
Let me tell you the real life
on earth.
How real life this stuff is.
COBRA is ridiculous.
Without
it doesn't
having
make any
insurance
sense whatsoever.
And if you're not working, you have to pay that nice premium.
Yeah.
And it's cheap. Mine is cheap of $550. They were quoting me prices at $1,300, $700. Are you kidding me?
I agree. The COBRA is horrible.
It's a problem. That system needs to be overhauled. And I'm telling you, if that's overhauled, the rest will work itself out. That's why you don't have a plan yet, because he said, I'm going to go ahead and focus on the healthcare issue, and we're going to take it from there.
Right.
That sounds about right.
And he needs another 4 years to do that.
Hey,
of course.
Of course. You can't
so we
do
need
that.
4 years of wrong. They're going to fix it.
Yeah, they're going to repeal it, and we're going to be back to where we started. Even worse.
Uh-huh. Hey, real quick, I want to touch on a couple of controversial issues people brought up. What Jimmy Shine was talking about in Ohio. It says a lady, she was suing to get him off the ballot based on the belief that President Obama's Social Security number was fraudulent.
Oh my God!
Saying that the first three digits of his number were only issued to people in Connecticut, but they were saying she's actually wrong. If she Googled it, say prior to 1972, the number wasn't where you live; it's where it was actually issued at. But then they was saying that this myth was actually debunked in 2007. And in order for her to even establish legal standing to get this lawsuit out there, she had to declare herself a write-in candidate for president. So
I'm going to say this.
Ma'am.
I wish every lunatic out there that wants to disqualify the president from being eligible to be president to just let it go. I mean, the man is president.
He already did one term.
He already did one term of the presidency.
Right.
It is no point in trying to prove that he is not qualified based on his birthright or his birth certificate or anything else. Let that go. And that's one of the problems. That's another hurdle to me, and people being able to get their point across, and to kind of talk sense. I'm going to call it to you, into some of these Obama supporters, because they're so far out with some of the criticisms they have of him. It really just closes people's ears to when they have a very interesting and thoughtful comment to make, simply because previously they've made some outlandish comment. And that's one thing I hope pushing forward as we get closer to November, we can stop all of the ridiculous talk about why he is not certified to be an American president, and we can just get and stick to issues, which is one of the things I hope having Paul Ryan on the ballot will do. It will get to debating real issues, and forget about all of this nonsense about Social Security numbers and birth certificates, and he was born in Kenya and I can prove it. And I think there's a new documentary out that's talking to his brother, and his brother, from what I can tell, is a drug addict and an alcoholic. And while I could see sending $20 to him would make a difference in his life, I could also see why you might not send $20 to him as well. So I mean, so I get it, but yeah, we need to, all of that stuff is only clouding people's minds and not letting them open because of the ridiculous comments that people bring to the table. How you doing tonight, Bethany?
Destiny?
That's what he wrote on the screen. Is that not right?
No, it's Destiny.
Destiny.
Oh, Destiny.
Destiny.
Oh,
I
okay.
apologize.
I'm sorry, Destiny. What's your comment tonight?
This is my first time listening to your show, and it's very interesting because you guys touch on all types of topics. The topic you're discussing right now is politics as usual. And while I'm listening, what comes to my mind is that when President Obama was running for president, nobody thought it would be possible for him to become president. But obviously it was God's will. And he became president and somehow, some way, helped us, through the recession. Not saying that the recession is done, because I still live paycheck to paycheck, and I know a lot of people are still doing the same. But what's coming to my mind right now when it comes to Mitt Romney and whoever he has running along with him is the fact that God's will be done is basically what I'm saying. When we look at politics and voting for the right person to come into position, we definitely want to know whether or not, they're designated by God. Like, when it comes down to it, when I go to the office and I want to vote for someone, I really want to know what their belief system is and whether or not they do serve the one true God Almighty, creator of heaven and earth.
All right. I don't want to cut you off too bad, but I'm short on time. I gotta cut the show in about 2 minutes. I appreciate it though, Destiny.
Thank you for calling.
Okay, have a good night.
You too.
You too, Destiny.
So Destiny says she's concerned about who is living their life for God, and I respect that. I'll just make this comment about that. I've always said when it comes to politics, you have to realize there are no, in my opinion, I haven't seen any politician who lives their life for God, as we kind of get taught when you go to I'll call them Pentecostal related churches. I haven't seen a candidate that lives their life that way. And President Obama is not that guy. I can tell Joe Biden is not that guy. Mitt Romney, I think he's probably the closest one, simply because he is a faithful member of his church. He does tithe his 10%. And so he is a Mormon, and so I know a lot of people don't respect that, but I'm not saying he is that guy. I'm just saying he might be close to something related to, I would say your average Pentecostal beliefs in terms of that dedication to their church. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about dedication to church, not what you believe, religiously. And I don't know. I know Paul Ryan is a Catholic, but again, I don't know, how serious of a Catholic he is. It's really hard to pick a candidate, in my opinion, based on that, because most of them do not live their life according to true Pentecostal faith, if we'll call it. But I thank you for your comment, Destiny. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for listening. It is time to wind down here, the end of another show. We'll be back next week, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Remember, you can catch us on Facebook, Real Family Talk. You can catch us on Twitter, Real Family Talk. You can catch us on YouTube, Real Family Talk. And you can also check out our website, realfamilytalk.weebly.com, realfamilytalk.weebly.com. You'll see some blogs up there. And hopefully soon we'll get some blogs by Jeremy and Miss McCrae as well. Hopefully they'll start blogging too. But as always, though, family, thank y'all for listening. Again, congratulations, Geraldine Thompson, Bruce Antone, Randolph Bracey, Kat Gordon, and Sheriff Jerry Deming.
It's not me, y'all. Y'all,
and
y'all can rest safe.
We'll see you next week.
WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.
Made my life worth living. You taught me the joy of giving. It was